Adopt a revised resolution authorizing city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with CAMP. 2, a revised resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with IBEW. And 3, an amended resolution revising the unrepresented executive management employee compensation, leave, and benefits, and approving the corresponding salary schedules.
Thank you very much. Would you start the public sign-up clock on this, please? And do we have a staff presentation?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we do have a very brief oral presentation. For the record, Terrence Davis, Interim Assistant City Manager. And the item before you here is a bit of an administrative cleanup item after successfully negotiating tentative agreements with 3 of the city's bargaining groups, IBEW, CAMP, and then also the unrepresented executive management employees. And essentially, as we move forward with the implementation of finalizing these agreements, there are a few cleanup items that needed to be addressed. So this item tonight is making recommendations around addressing those what I'll call administrative cleanup items. There are 3 items. The first is, after the completion of tentative agreements with our CAMP, which is our management group, there were 6 classifications, 8 employees in total that would have been impacted adversely due to their classifications being assessed to fall below market. So they would have received 1% less for each of the cost of living adjustments over the term of the agreement. The city manager's office evaluated that issue, and given that these classifications are typically hard to fill, hard to retain, and just in terms of the impact to employee morale, we thought it would be best to have those employees receive the cost of living increase that was commensurate with the rest of the folks in their bargaining group. The cost for that is a fairly minimal, $20,000 this year, and then $35,000 each subsequent year of the agreement. So about $125,000 over the life of the agreement. So we thought, given the cost to recruit and retain employees, that it was a good investment. Also, a sign of goodwill towards our employees that we should allow them the opportunity to get those cost of living adjustments as well. The only other thing I'll say about that is that the data used for some of those compensation studies where it was dated. And so we have fairly good confidence that those classifications wouldn't be that far out of market today. The second item is salary information for the mayor, council member, city manager, and city attorney were separated and placed into their own salary schedule. As you all know, those salaries for the mayor and council member are set by ordinance, and specifically for the city manager and city attorney, thereby contract negotiations for those individuals. So we thought it was best to represent those positions in a separate salary schedule and not have them listed with the management and other employees as has been done in the past. So an administrative cleanup to make it clear how those various salaries are negotiated and set, and the differences between the rest of the bargaining groups in the city. And then what I'll say lastly is negotiation between, as we were negotiating with CAMP, the assistant apologized. The bell just rang as I was finishing my last point here. As we were completing negotiations with CAMP, we identified 2 classifications: the assistant public works director, city engineer, and assistant public works director for maintenance, who are the number 2s in the public works department. They were removed from the CAMP bargaining group and moved to the unrepresented executive management group. And this resolution addresses that change in classification and essentially cleans up that issue. That move was made primarily to better align our unrepresented executive management, and it's reflective of two positions that act as public work director in the public work director's absence. So we thought it was appropriate that they would be in the unrepresented group. And so those are the administrative cleanup changes. And with that, I am here, and then also Stephanie Cifuentes, our Assistant Human Resources Director, is here if there are any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Anybody have any questions from council? There appear to be none, so I will now close the public sign-up clock. Do we have any speakers on this item?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, one speaker, David Haldane.
Mr. Haldane, please proceed.
Thank you, Mayor. I speak in opposition to the measure. I do approve of the funds and the intention of the effort, but I would recommend that you direct it towards a performance-based award that is available across the salary band. A $500 raise can mean a lot to someone on the bottom of the pay range, and it would be a lot better for staff morale, and especially since those are the people that do the work of the city on the ground. You can give 8 people earning above market rate a $4,000 to $5,000 raise, or you can give 60 people a $500 to $600 raise that recognizes their performance. I leave it to council to determine which would have a better impact on morale and productivity. Thank you.
Thank you for your observation, sir. And with that, we will move on to the council. Any further comments or questions from council? Otherwise, Vice Mayor, do you have a motion on this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt the revised resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum. Oops, I was reading it. A memorandum of understanding with Camp A revised resolution authorizing city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with IBEW. And number 3, an amended resolution revising the unrepresented executive management employee compensation, leave and benefits, and approving the corresponding salary schedules.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, for that combined motion. Would you please take the roll on that?
Councilmember Meisner,
Yes.
Mayor McConnell,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Verder-Aliga,
Yes.
Council members Adiola,
No.
Brown,
Yes.
Jew,
Yes.
Loetta Diaz.
Yes.
Motion carries with Councilmember Adiola opposed.